What's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and today we're going to be talking about water release. So, as is the case with all 4 other nature transformations, there's a location in the Naruto universe where water release is most commonly seen, and that place happens to be the village hidden in the mist. It's rare to see anybody with a water affinity outside of the hidden mist village, but it has happened before, and the most famous example of this is probably Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. Anyway, moving on, water release is a bit odd, as most of the time, users of it manipulate water that already exists around their body, as opposed to turning their chakra into it the same way users of other elements do. It is possible for a person to convert their chakra into tangible water, but doing so requires much more skill than manipulating water that's already there. Needless to say, a user of water release is at a massive advantage whenever they're in a location surrounded by water, so lakesides, beaches, ponds, and other areas like them are where water release users are at their most powerful. Of the 5 basic natures in the Naruto world, water release is likely the most versatile by a landslide. There's a whole lot you can accomplish through water ninjutsu, and this comes as a result of how easy it is to manipulate water by its own nature. Zabuza has shown the ability to turn water into mist, Utakata has shown the ability to create bubbles through water ninjutsu, which can serve a whole lot more purposes than you may think. Various characters have shown the ability to increase the weight of the water they manipulate in order to trap targets inside of it, and a couple of characters have even shown the ability to increase the viscosity of the water they control in order to turn it into a syrup-like fluid that can trap targets in place. Of course, water ninjutsu can also be employed offensively, and when they are, the damage they tend to cause is more straightforward than that of any of the other 4 elements. Getting hit by a water ninjutsu, of sufficient scale anyway, will deal a bunch of concussive damage to a person's body and leave them with very serious injuries, both external and internal. While fire burns and sears the skin, wind cuts through its targets, and lightning pierces and shocks its targets, most of the time water just overwhelms whatever it comes into contact with loads and loads of brute force, the same way a powerful taijutsu technique would. When interacting with other elements, water is strong against fire and weak against earth. I won't even bother explaining why water is strong against fire, because but the reasons for water's weakness against earth are that earth structures tend to be very strong and rigid, which in turn makes them capable of reflecting and resisting the force backing water techniques, thereby rendering them ineffective. As I mentioned in both the lightning and wind release videos, water is typically employed offensively in combination with both wind release and lightning release. Wind release because the wind increases the overall concussive and cutting power of the water it combines with, and lightning because water conducts electricity incredibly well. In both cases, employed bodies of water act as conductors for the element they combine with the power and draw force of the water generally taking precedence over the effects of the second element. Members of the Hozuki clan that make use of the hydrification technique to turn their body into water run into an additional weakness to lightning release, as their liquid bodies begin to conduct electricity incredibly well, which in turn leads them to become completely paralyzed if they get hit with a lightning release jutsu while they're liquefied. So, I think that about does it for water release. Next week I'm going to be covering earth release, and after that I'll be done with the 5 basic natures. As always, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas for future video topics you want me to cover, leave them in the comments below, and if I like them enough, I'll definitely make it a point to get to them. Anyway, yeah, have a wonderful day, everybody. Talk to you guys later. Swagkage out. Bye. Oh yeah, also, I'm gonna plug my Patreon real quick, because I started one of those.